Hello, goodbye, and hello again. Welcome back to Drifter Carbon and another Minecraft texture pack review. Today we're taking a look at Medieval Texture Pack by Gamemode One. It is 830 Minecraft coins and 42 megabytes. Here's the description. You can read that for yourself if you like. And I will scroll down and show you the pretty cool medieval skins that they've got in this pack. They've got quite a few here, and I feel like I'm more likely to use some of these than I would be most skin packs that I've encountered. A lot of packs come with skins, but they're not always something that I personally find pleasing. But let's go ahead and jump on in. Just so you know, this pack has been updated for the Spring to Life content, which is always lovely when a pack is recently updated. Here's things that grow. See, we got some cute baby trees and pretty nice textures on the leaves and the bark and the trees in the background there. Some fun, weird mushrooms there. Here's the crops. Kind of a fun and different pitcher plant there. Kind of unusual or different from what we're used to. Nice plants overall, I would say. Here's the flowers. Cool. I think they did a good job with the pixel art on those. There's the cactus. Let's look at the composters. Here's the compost. Kind of a different looking chorus plant there as well. Here's the pale garden stuff. Looking nice in this art style. Giant mushrooms. Here's logs. As you can see, there's each of the log types has a totally different pattern. Always nice. The shaved logs look nice as well. Here's the planks. Some of these are really fun. Like that's unusual and different looking. Not sure what's going on there, but always nice when you have different textures on the planks as well. A lot of packs just have the same texture, but looks like there's not variations on the planks. Variations on the same texture of plank, that is. Dirt, sand, gravel, and moss. These all look fine. No problems here. Sand, gravel, suspicious sand, suspicious gravel. You can definitely tell which one's suspicious. Nice and easy. The sandstone. Here's stone and stuff. I think they did a good job with the earthy textures. You know, the dirt and the stone all look quite nice, I would say. Doesn't appear to be variations on any of the blocks in this pack, so we'll stop checking. Polished stone, cobblestone. So these polished stones look nice too. Some of these would be good like path blocks. Cobblestones. Here's bricks. Kind of a fun pattern in the brick there. Kind of a skull shape or monster head shape. Stone, bricks, blocks, etc. These are nice. There's some interesting design choices here. I do like designs like this and in stone. That's fun. Glass. Going for a nice stained glass style on the glass here. Hopefully this is not too difficult to see through later when we're dealing with the mob enclosures, but I do think they did a good job on the glass. It looks very medieval, appropriately enough. Here's wool. As you can see, we've got a few different patterns for the wool. So if you wanted to use some of these for flooring blocks, that would work well, I would think. Concrete powder. Concrete. Some fun patterns here. The concrete is all different. I do love when they cram in extra textures by having concrete or wool have different designs. Terracotta, they use the terracotta to have some more like bricks or wall type textures in there. Kind of fun. Glazed terracotta. Ooh, I do like these. These are very nice. some like Celtic inspiration on some of these. The ore, I'd say it's easy enough to tell the difference between the ores and the difference between the ore and the stone. Nether ore, deep slate ore. Again, I'm not sure how many people are going out of their way to find coal in the deep slate, but that might be a little more difficult to spot from a distance. Here's amethyst. Kind of a different looking amethyst there. The random lonely magma block does not appear to be animated today. Sponges, you can tell the difference between wet and dry. Here's your light sources. You can see they've got a few different designs here. Like that one looks like a candle. It's kind of a fun way of doing it. Nice bulbs there. Campfires. Here's miscellaneous light sources. Those all look good. I do kind of like the jack-o'-lanterns there. They look very pumpkin-y. Here's the signs. Nice and readable signs. Everything's fairly easily identified and fairly easy to read in this pack so far. Hanging signs. Here's the monster spawner. Fences and gates. All look good. You know, just look like the wood. There's the walls in the background. The dried kelp block. The diamond, lapis, gold, emerald, and redstone blocks all look pretty fun. The emerald block looks like it's made up of emeralds, appropriately enough. I do like the lapis as well. That's one of my favorite blocks in the pack so far. Love a nice blue block. Iron block. Raw copper, gold, and iron. Lodestone. Kind of a fun lodestone there. Looks very different. Prismarine. Slime block. Looks nice and slimy. Honey. Hay bale. Bone block. Quartz. Good level of detail. Like there, if you zoom in, there's like nice textures and stuff on each of the quartz blocks. Copper. Kind of went for a different vibe with the copper blocks here than usual. There's a ladder. Here's the doors. Ooh, okay. For the theme, these are really nice. Some of them do have windows, which is always good to see. Do love a nice window and a door. Very good and very on theme. Trapdoors. These look nice as well. I guess some of these would make for good arms of couches. And here's the bookcases. And here is, open this up. And then open this up, the enchanting table, just to show those off. Let's look at the UI while I'm thinking about it. The UI has this really nice, like, it's got like flowering ivy around the highlighted bar, highlighted icon on the UI there on the item bar. And the menu itself is just kind of the standard gray menu, but I do like the item bar. Here's beds. Okay, we have more than one bed here. There's a couple with kind of a pattern. And it looks like there's actually subtle differences between some of the regular beds as well. That's cool. Crafting tables and villager job tables. Very easy to identify them. You know what each of these are just by a quick glance. The crafter looks kind of cool. A nice animated block cutter there. The furnaces. Good level of detail on the furnaces. Anvils and grindstones. You can definitely tell when your anvil's about to break. The cauldrons. There's lava and a potion. Here's the chests. Yes, you can definitely tell which one is trapped. It looks totally different from the rest of them. Barrel. Here's the jukebox and note block. Oh, that's fun. There's like multiple music notes instead of just one. That's fun. I like that. Beacon, the bell. Doesn't seem like they changed the sound effects. That's okay. Iron bars. Here's what the beam from the beacon looks very like detailed there for a change. Let's look at painting, zoom out so we can see all of them. Got some wall hangings here and some traditional paintings. I like these. They've done a good job with all the paintings in this pack. They all look like they were drawn by a human being. Very cool. Some really interesting like wall decor and stuff too. Like this looks like something an adventurer would have on their wall, you know, or a monster hunter. Looks like Dennis is a little too new for this pack, but that's, you know, that's how it goes. Here's the rails. You can definitely tell the difference between the special rails. The things in minecarts. We'll see the TNT without a minecart later. Here's Greg. Hi, Greg. Redstone stuff. Nice designs on the redstone things as well. Looks like something you'd have in the like pillar of a cathedral or something. Pistons. Here's pottery. This was one of the things that drew me to the pack, is really nice pottery designs. They had fun with adapting some of the traditional Minecraft pot designs, you know, shirred designs into their own style here. I think they did an excellent job. Scaffolding. The banner, as you can see, has a nice pattern texture to it. It looks like an actual old bolt of cloth with like a seam at the top where it mounts to the frame. Boats. You can see there's numerous kinds of boat here. They all look different. They have different designs for each type of wood, which is always nice. You don't always see that. The tough. Yeah, these are good tough. We have a cool looking trial spawner there, and the vault. Interesting. It's got kind of a different look to it. The eyes on the side light up instead of it being on the front. I guess the corners, there's like gemstones in the corner that light up when you get close to it. That's kind of interesting and different. That's one of the most different vaults that we've seen. Resin. Nice looking resin blocks. Resin itself looks good. Here's the target. We have another texture pack where they've got like a realistic target. That's what a medieval target would have looked like back in the day. A hay bale with a piece of cloth over it. Here's the mob heads. The zombie head just looks like a guy. We'll see the mobs in a little while. Kind of a fun scaly dragon egg, like almost like something out of not Lord of the Rings, but out of Game of Thrones. Nice detailed dripstone. Hold on. That's what the drip looks like. Interesting lightning rod there. The chain. The heavy core. Conduit. And the TNT looks really cool. Like, I think that's great. It's like a crate full of bombs. Interesting approach for the TNT there. Yeah, the glass is kind of hard to see through, isn't it? Here's the sea pickles, seagrass. It does blow in the waves, and the kelp. Try and see if we can see the. I'm just gonna jump in with the. Oh, what do you call it? Coral. Some nice detailed coral here. That's fun. I like the way that these look. There's the coral blocks. Looks very realistic. And the lily pads. Okay, yeah, I think the blocks are fantastic. Let's go ahead and jump back. Okay, let's set off a firework real quick. Oh, that's kind of a different looking firework. Let's set off another one. I was kind of looking down at first. So it kind of has a different flash as well. Kind of interesting. Throwing a snowball looks normal. That's what the wind charge looks like. I like the icon for the wind charge though. Here's the map, in case you were wondering what that looks like. Oh, it's got like different icons on, you can't see where I'm pointing at the screen. Different icons where we are on the map. That's kind of fun, kind of different. So let's look at armor, and we'll look at the swords as we go along because they are different. Got kind of a staff for or an unlit torch perhaps for the wooden sword there, but nice designs on the armor, and they're all totally different from each other, which I love to see. These are all very high quality weapons and armor, I would say. Look at the back of these too. Fun. Here's the elytra and the shield. Those look nice as well. Yeah, I'm impressed by the armor. That's, again, yet another aspect of this pack where I've looked at a lot of medieval packs, but they're knocking it out of the park. This is some of the best we've seen. Let's look at armor trims. These are amethyst armor trims on iron armor, as always. They do have custom designs. Anything going on the top of the helmet? Not really. But we got some no, I guess there's some differences on the back of the helms as well. So that's interesting. There's like different designs on the back of the armor as well. I'm not going to go through the backs of all of them, but nice to see that they're paying attention to both sides of the model there. Very fun, very cool. And the tools as well are different from each other, as we saw with the swords. So I like that. That's always, you're always going to get some good points for that sort of thing. Interesting end rod as well. Don't always point that out. Here's the 2D versions of the weapons and tools. And I think they've done a nice job with their pixel art. There's the respawn compass, the regular compass, and the clock. They're kind of smaller than usual, but they look like something that a person would hold in their hand. Kind of a fun horn there as well. Potions. Ooh, I like the potion designs. They're doing a very good job of making things look like something from the Middle Ages. Nice food as well. Nice and appetizing veggies there. The music discs are like those little music box cartridges, the little wheels with the grooves in them and the pegs sticking out and stuff that make noise when you stick them in the little machine. That was kind of an interesting approach to something that you might not otherwise. Oh, I thought that it was supposed to be updated for Spring to Life. These two are too new, apparently. That's strange. But you know, I thought that they would be custom. Here's things in buckets. They're kind of some cute animals in buckets here. I like the look of the bucket itself as well. This wooden bucket instead of a metal one for change. The minerals. Yeah, they've done a good job on these as well. Various miscellaneous items. And here's some of the newer stuff. There's the bundle. Some of the tough things. I mean, not tough. Oh, my brain's not working right now. You can see what I'm looking at here. The skulk. There we go. That's the word I was looking for. Yes, I think that they've certainly done an excellent job with the items and the tools of being appropriately medieval. Let's go check out the mobs. Also, and this is just a tiny little detail, but check out the crosshair. It's a little crown. Not a lot of packs do anything terribly interesting with the crosshair, but that's kind of fun. Oh, you can see the sky as well. That's what the sun looks like. There's kind of a seam. No, never mind. That's the beacon. Okay, never mind. Disregard. It's all good. Here's what a couch or a bench would look like. I guess more of a bench in this case. and a water cooler. Yes, ye oldie medieval water cooler. Here's the nether portal, kind of a different looking bubbly, almost like a bubbly potion or bubbly cauldron looking portal there. Let's look at the mobs. Here's the chicken and the warm chicken and cold chicken. Cold chicken looks pretty close to default, if that's not actually, yeah, that probably is default. Why is there a warm version but not a cold version of the chicken, guys? What's going on there? Here's the bee. Nice detailed bee there. The cow. Try and see the faces of the cows better. And the pig. This pack has been updated recently enough that it doesn't have the problem that a lot of packs have where the farm animals are just default. But this one's custom. The sheep, the wolf, and wolf armor. I like the way the wolves look. Here's the polar bear. The ocelot is very high detail. Nice realistic looking ocelot there. And the cat. Fun cat patterns. Mushroom. Here's the bat. Another very realistically detailed mob there. When you can actually see him through the glass, that is. The parrots. Fun texture on the feathers on their wings and stuff. The rabbit. The rabbits have like two-tone faces and ears. At least that one does, at least. I guess this one does too. It's just more subtle. The llama. Went for more of a traditional blanket design on the llamas. Those look nice. Here's the horse. And the horse and horse armor. Looks like horse armor. Looks like something from the Middle Ages. But I guess it usually does. Here's the donkey and the mule. The skeleton horse and the zombie horse. Zombie horse looks like he's ready to bite you. Tropical fish. There you go. Pretty standard tropical fish. The cod. Yeah, I like the the aquatic animals in this pack as well. Here's the puffer fish. Always fun to see what kind of expression the puffer fish has in these packs. The salmon. That's what they look like. Nice and pink. Dolphin. Oh, the dolphin was trying to jump out of the water there. Hold on, try and catch up with them. The water's a little foggy in this pack. Oh, it almost looks like his blowhole is off center. That's a little strange. Not a huge problem, but it's a little weird. Nice, nicely designed sea turtle. Here's the panda. I added in more pandas recently, so you can see there's more than one panda. More than one panda design, I mean. One of them's a drippy nose sick panda, and the other two are just normal pandas. But some packs have more than one panda, so I wanted to have more than one of them. There's the cute fox. Oh, the creeper is like made of wood. It's like it's like a medieval automaton with like a face on a piece of cloth or paper on the front, and its head is a box of TNT. Thus the explosions, I guess. They could have just left the creeper as like a monster, but this pack actually tried to explain it as something a little more realistic, I guess. Here's the Enderman. If I can get him to face me without teleporting away. They've got like armor. That's a fun Enderman. That's one of my favorite Endermen that I've seen. Certainly in a medieval pack. They're not changing the geometry on the mobs most of the time, but they've done a really good job of making them look different. Here's the silverfish. Is it a rat? Is that what that's supposed to be? Hold on, if it would just face over this way. It is! It's a little rat. That's cute. Fun that they did something different with the silverfish. The skeleton. Some real creativity involved with these monster designs. The wither skeleton and the stray. Here's the slime. And the spider and cave spider. You can see they do look different from each other. It's not just a color swap. There's different patterning on the cave spider from the regular spider. The zombie, again, they just look like dudes. They look less like zombies than usual. The bogged. And the husk. Again, the husk also just looks kind of like a dude. I guess you'd have some hostile humans to fight instead of just monsters. The drowned. Here's the squid and glow squid. I like these guys. These both look excellent. The witch has kind of a hood on and like hair over their eyes. The guardian and elder guardian have a nice level of detail as well. We will spawn in a endermite. That's what they look like. The magma cube just looks default. The strider is kind of skull-like almost, and looks it kind of looks happier when it's in the lava, of course. It's a smile on its face, kind of a cute but a little bit spooky strider there. The Zoglin, zombified hoglin, appropriately zombified. Here's the zombie piglin and zombie piglin brute. They look very intimidating. Creepy looking zombie piglins. There's the goat. More detailed than we're used to seeing on the goat's fur there. The axolotl. This was another mob that stood out to me when I was investigating the pack. Looking at the screenshots and stuff on the page. Fun axolotls. I like the way that these guys look. Here's the allay. It almost looks like a vampire. Instead of like a fairy. You would expect them to look like fairies in a medieval pack, but they've gone for more of almost a horror vibe with them, which is an interesting approach. Here's the frog. I do have more than one frog in here now. Added more of those recently in case the pack changed them. Spawn in a wandering trader. You can see they've done a nice job of the blankets and stuff on the trader's llamas. It's actually got like his wares strapped to his llamas, which is fun. And I think the humans look nice in this pack as well. There's the camel. Nice. One of the better looking camels as well. This is another mob that I'm quite fond of in this pack. The blaze. See if we can get him to face over this way. Face me, Blaze. There you go. That's what their face looks like. Not the most detailed mob. Here's the ghast. Hold on. He will turn around again here in a second. There you go. So they look very different from usual. So this pack says it was updated for Spring to Life, but I guess it was updated before the Dried Ghast and the Happy Ghast ones were added because they just look default. So, you know, it's the pack's been updated recently, but not like super recently. Or maybe they made a mistake when they updated it. I don't know. There's the Shulker. They just seem to have blue cubes inside. The Vindicator and Evoker look kind of the Vindicator looks like a vampire, and the Evoker just kind of has gray hair. So very human Evoker and Vindicator there. Here we have the villagers. How many villager faces do we have? We have 1. So there's just 1 villager. But you know, their attire is different for their different jobs. But I would have liked to have seen more than 1 face. Zombie villagers. At least have like a male and a female villager, you know? How do you tell the difference between the zombie version and the normal version of the villagers? That might be a little bit difficult. How do you know when your villager is zombified? They don't look any different to me, personally. Maybe their eyebrows are different, I'm not sure, but there's the Phantom and the Pillager. Another very human-looking hostile mob there, the Ravager. Kind of a different looking Ravager here. Interesting. It's like made of wood, kind of similar to the Creeper. Wood and metal, that is, obviously. The Iron Golem, you can definitely tell when it's damaged. Cool, cool. Like enchanted suits of armor. Appropriate enough for the theme. Snow Golem and Snow Golem with its pumpkin carved off. Here's the Sniffer. Very wrinkledy looking Sniffer today. Interesting. I think that's kind of a fun Sniffer. Here's the Armadillo. This is one of the most realistic armadillos I've seen. Like this is what an armadillo's back actually looks like in real life. Here is the Warden, which is one of the mobs that they show off in the description in you know, the store page. And I think this is one of the more interesting Wardens as well. Lots of fun. I think they showed some real creativity with some of the hostile mobs. Here's the Breeze. Kind of interesting. And the Wither. See if we can get him to face me. There you go. That's what the Wither looks like. And last but not least, the Creaking. Oh, wow. This is an awesome Creaking. I like these guys. Very cool. That's one of my favorite mobs in the pack, I would say. Awesome. Yeah, the mobs are definitely top notch in this pack. I think they really did a good job of capturing the theme. Let's go check out the Nether. Here we are on the Nether. As you can see, the tools look nice in your hand as well. Here's the Hoglin, the non-zombified Hoglin. Very like buff and scarred looking Hoglins in this pack. The respawn anchor looks kind of interesting. It's got a similar pattern, similar animation as the Nether portal, but with kind of a glass over it. You know, like the glass was. Here's the piglins. We do have a couple of different piglins here. Different outfits on. And their faces are different. Which is interesting. That's always fun. This one's giving us kind of a wide eye on the eye that's open there. The other one is his damaged eye. We will fly out here towards another biome. But I think the Nether looks nice. Nice bright lava. Does it have an animation? Yes, it does. It does have an animation. Let's set ourselves on fire so you can see that's what the fire looks like. I should do that more often. I don't always fall into the lava in this world. Here's what the trees look like. It's very like brainy almost on the leaves there of the Nether trees. Kind of an interesting looking biome overall. Okay, let's go check out the stronghold below. But first, here's what the warm pig and the warm cow look like. They have spots in the warm biomes. All right, let's go check out the stronghold below template world. All right, here we are in the stronghold below template world. Here's what the cold pig and the cold cow look like. They're appropriately woolly. So I guess the cold chicken was custom. It just didn't look dramatically different. Here's what a villager house would look like. I think these look nice. Wood textures look good together with the door and stuff. Fly over this way and look at a cobweb. You can kind of see more of the overworld here. Nice detailed cobwebs there. And here's what the ruined portal looks like. Fly back over this way. Try not to hit any trees. Here's what the frozen water and the ice look like. Come on, a little bit faster there. All right, jump on down. Oh, first, here's what the night sky looks like. That's the moon. Nothing too crazy with the skybox in this pack, but that's all right. I do like the way that the stronghold looks. The blocks mesh well together and make for a nice looking stronghold. Let's hold on. Oh, bottle of enchanting is like a bag of pixie dust or something. That's interesting. Oh, and like the EXP orb is like little gold coins. That's fun. I've never seen anybody like do that with the experience before. Drink a potion of strength so we can see the swirlies. They're little poofs of clouds. There's the goat horn. Reloading the crossbow. That's an animation. Here's what a sword looks like in your hand, specifically the netherite sword. And we will go ahead and enter the stronghold. That's what a monster spawner looks like when it's activated. There you go. Kind of a different nether portal there. Kind of interesting. Alrighty. Here's another look at the Endermen. Almost look like undead soldiers or something. Here's the end crystal. And ooh, we have an interesting ender dragon. It's got fun horns and nice wings. Let's get a better look at this guy, or gal, I should say, when she comes around. Whoa, check out the face too. That is a rad looking ender dragon, man. Like, very cool. Awesome. Okay, so what are my final thoughts on this pack? I think this may be my favorite medieval texture pack that doesn't like dramatically change the geometry of most of the mobs. There's some mobs that are different, like the horns on the ender dragon and stuff, but I think that just the overall quality on this one is top notch. There were some nice, useful like wall decor on the paintings. The blocks all had excellent detail, and certain blocks, colored blocks like the concrete, had different patterns for each of the different colors, which always adds an extra level of quality to the blocks because it means you can build more things with them. I think overall these are like my favorite medieval blocks that we've seen. Very, very usable. The items were very impressive as well. Like the armor was just kind of like top quality stuff. All the armor sets were different from each other and looked very nice. The tools were different from each other as well, so that the tools feel more different from each other when you get an upgrade. It's more exciting. Very on theme items as well. Everything looked very medieval, especially like the potions and stuff. As far as the mobs go, I thought that they had really creative designs on a lot of the mobs. They were very like high detail and just very nice looking. In particular, I think the creaking is my favorite creaking that we've seen. And I really liked how realistic the camel looked as well. And the creeper and Ravager were kind of fun because they were like golems or automatons made of wood and metal. And the creeper had like a box of, grenades or bombs for his head, which was a little like in-world explanation for why they explode, right? So overall, I really liked the mobs, and I think the UI is nice too. The item bar is definitely one of the more fun item bars that we've seen. Certainly for a medieval pack, I think it's very on point. The menu was not all that different from default, but yeah. So just overall, I think this is definitely a 5-star pack, and I highly recommend it. It's also 830 Minecraft coins, so it's less money than a lot of its competition that's on this quality level. Because a lot of the time you'd be paying at least 990 for something of this quality. So yeah, I definitely give this my recommendation, and hope this was helpful to you. If you enjoyed this, please do leave it a like, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and comment down below what you think of the pack. What's your favorite medieval pack, and what did you think of all the different elements of this one? So thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.